Hello, Endersword here again, this time with a ladder game provided to us by the top left player here in red, which is UR's Acid. His opponent for today is going to be the Zerg player down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. It is Astator, I think.
I'm going to agree that Astator is definitely the best way to pronounce this.
Yeah.
My name is GZ Swanson. Be casting alongside Dave for at least the foreseeable future.
Yes.
And before things really get underway, I'd like to play one of my favorite games, Pokemon Pharmaceutical or Ancient Historian. Astator, which is it?
Astator, to me, that sounds more like Ancient Historian to me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think
from the Annals of Astator.
Like, definitely not a Pokemon.
No.
Or definitely not a pharmaceutical. Could be a Pokemon. Not a very good one. Definitely like
it would
like
be
a
like
Johto region.
It would be like some sort of violent potato.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. That makes sense.
Which is coming out, I think, in Generation 7 or 8, when they've completely run out of ideas.
Well, alright, we have 13 Drone Scout, completely standard, and gas first, or not gas first, but a gas opening at a Terran, so not going to be a super fast expansion. But I would foresee one, obviously, as this is TVZ, would expect a third CC shortly thereafter, and that's just because of the map. Whoa!
This turns out not to be a drone scout. This turns out to be a scouting hatchery, an offensive proxy hatch going up there outside the Terran base. And yes, I guess I was not lied to when I said that, when I was told that this game would in fact be interesting. So we'll have to see what comes out of there.
Alright, here's my logic.
Yeah.
So, back a few months ago, there was the super popular Command Center First on the high ground. As Zerg, you counter that by putting a hatch in their natural.
Right.
Terran eventually figured out how to deal with that effectively with pushing out with bunkers, etc., etc. And Astator is saying, no, it's brilliant. All I actually need are spine crawlers and queens at his side of the map. Because, like, 2 queens early on against just, like, marines that can't heal, very effective. So, I'm going to say 16 hatch on your opponent's side of the map should be the new meta. He's breaking the mold.
Yeah, it's straight up. I can see that. The idea being that he may build it in place, in which case you just want to poke at it from that location. Of course, Acid not currently having any idea that this is in place, and does in fact put the CC down just as the hatchery finishes.
It's going to be in a little bit sad panda mode when he comes in here with this Reaper and is like, oh, that's okay, so you're mining gas. Oh, is he knocking a scout? Oh, okay. This could be a tragedy.
Yeah, looks like he's not actually going down into the natural.
Nobody else didn't see the Roach Warren.
Yeah, didn't see the Roach Warren back, didn't see that the natural was not in fact taken. And so yeah, missing out on a large amount of information there, unfortunately, is UR's Acid, and we'll have to see what he's going to do to deal with this. Reactor going down on his barracks now, factory under production, as well as a second barracks. He just doesn't have any idea that something weird is going on at the moment.
That is, like, normally you open with this double Reaper to get the scout in, to do a little bit of that drone harass, but he got nothing. He didn't even get any of the scouting information. CC is actually not even going to get stopped. We have 3 roaches coming down. We'll be able to make Widow Mines and Hellions. He's just, what? Very appropriate response.
As roaches show up absolutely out of nowhere, at least according to him, that's the case. A queen now poking at the command center, trying to break down this reactor on the barracks.
Good decision, because it can't be repaired.
Yeah, definitely. Could not be reached there by the SCVs, and it takes so long to build those. Widow Mine coming out is going to retake control of the
Oh, that's so sick!
So nice, a repair on the Widow Mine. You don't see that too often, but very nice.
Now, this is how you want to start things off. When Stat Drive runs a tournament, players know that they need to not only bring their A game, but they need to bring extreme strategies to the table.
Yeah, definitely true. We've got Astator really starting off with a very high voltage type of play.
Like, I think now if this wasn't Acid playing, I would have 100% confidence in our Zergy buddy taking this.
Yeah, very true. It certainly looks like a very dire situation for our Terran player right now. He's going to be held on one base for quite some time. He had to, of course, move that command center
And
off.
just creep.
Yeah, it just loses it completely, really, and is building another one there. Yeah, I don't know where he's going to go from there. Of course, you can never totally count a Terran player out. Like you said, he will have greater mobility as we go further into this game, but still, just being stuck on one base, so many creep tumors down, he's not even going to have the scans to get rid of all of this.
Well, he does have the second command center coming in, so he will eventually get up to a number of scans. Speaking of which, he runs one down, but he's really not getting, like, there's still so much creep even behind his command center that he's never going to be able to land in the natural, which leads me to believe that he's actually going to take the more aggressive, like, third base location for his natural.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to go down. That's even if he gets this cleared up, it's going to be a minute or two before that's actually out of the way.
Yep, from once you kill the creep tumor, 70 seconds before its total creep radius is diminished.
Yeah, very true, very true. It does recede as slowly as whence it came. I don't know what happens to it either. It evaporates or something like that. It's kind of odd.
I think it's kind of like, oh, I'm not going to have the term for it now. The Great Barrier Reef is creep. And it's just the CO2 balance is getting a little bit too high without the tumor. No calcium sulfate to keep that structure going.
I would imagine that StarCraft 2 takes place in a post-global warming world. But it's hard to say. I guess they're on different worlds as we go through it.
Yeah, actually, humans have expanded so far, and wherever Terran is, there is global warming.
That makes sense. Makes sense to me. Yeah. The creep really holds in heat. If it's a greenhouse creep. But so we've got that command center done now in the main of the Terran. He's not actually opting to move that out just yet. Instead, going for kind of over optimal saturation, but hitting complete saturation in his main base probably before moving that down to another position. These widow mines slowly but surely creeping forward towards the hatchery in the middle of nowhere.
To the natural?
Yeah, the natchery.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
All right,
the
that's the term.
aggressive.
We're just gonna coin that term right now.
The offensive macro hatch.
All right, we have the double drop coming in for Terran. He should actually be able to do a ton of it. 16 drones on the way right now.
Yeah, there's actually very little at home back here. There's not even any spines or spores up at the base of Astator. He's had to know that at some point drops would be coming across the map to try and get him. And here it does come down, and this is going to do a lot of damage for Astator.
Yeah, this is all necessary damage. Even if he takes this base down, he's still down a base. He still doesn't have control of his natural, but I don't see anything that's going to be stopping these Marines. Like 22 unupgraded Zerglings. He does have the possibility for Banelings, but he's going to take so much damage beforehand. You're catching something constantly.
Even right now, we've only got 4 Zerglings on the way out in production, and there's just not enough to even deal with this.
It looks like Zerg got a little bit too comfortable in his or her position to just be like, yeah, I'm outside the map, no worries. And then just lost the Baneling Nest, or focus firing the Baneling Nest. Terran is good, solid decision. Spawning pool, another very, very good idea. And it looks like Terran's actually probably going to seal the deal with the one base here, eventually securing his natural, and then just doing a push out from there, because he's, 30 supply ahead right now? Great position to be in.
Yeah,
and ahead to workers.
Got to be pretty comfortable with that. Now, creep is being dropped by the Overlord in the other, I guess the 4th base position, you would probably call that. He does realize that the Orbital Command still unable to actually move out and take control of any further resources. Eventually, he's going to hit a point where he's just going to mine out, but still doing a ton of damage with these drops here.
Queens tried to focus down a medevac, but they actually select the one that has no units in it.
Yeah.
But they didn't kill it anyway.
No.
Nice, Baneling hit.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good connection. We got another full medevac unloading on the far side of the base in the area that the spawning pool is being recreated. Yeah, but he's just going to go right after the drones here. Now attacking the spawning pool.
And the 1/1 upgrades for the Zerglings are really starting to really shine through, and no combat shields for Terran, most forgot upgrade in the world, I believe.
Yeah, that is a little unfortunate at the moment. The tech lab not currently active either.
For shame. Oh no!
And it looks like he'll finally be able to push back and eliminate the hatchery that was placed down so long ago, early on in this game.
But a really, I'm just gonna go ahead and say bad decision by Astator. Throwing down this fire. There's no way that a harassment tech-based unit is gonna do well against a 1-base Terran.
No, that doesn't make a ton of sense here.
I would, especially considering that you had the Baneling Nest, you have Zergling upgrades, you have the Roach Warren, you still have a good number of roaches. I would say just stick with that very powerful hatchery tech, but go into the lair upgrades. Like get your Baneling speed, get your Roach speed, get your 2/2, and then just really pummel Terran into the ground and Zerg them to death, as opposed to trying to get too fancy with these muters.
Yeah, exactly. All he has to do is you're not in a phase where you're trying to harass them. You're not in a phase where you're trying to maintain
an economic
some sort of, economic.
Yeah.
You know that he's on the point of starvation. So you just need to
beat this army.
Yeah, exactly. If you can just take this out, then that's the end of it. But I don't think he has the materials available to actually take it out. Roach is putting in some work. As you said, the upgrade's working out, but he'll be able to just pick this up and fight again another day. Still not actually able to get the orbital command down in
solid job
anywhere.
As Overlord. Yeah, just creep in all your base.
Yeah, creep finally receding from the natural at the, which is always good.
16.
You definitely want to be taking your natural around 17 minutes.
It's like a PvP.
Yeah.
Oh, nice world.
Coming down here now.
Zergling reinforcements might be able to push this way, but now he's down to half the supply. He did have that advantage for a long time, but Terran has slowly but surely been able to eke his way out, and with the siege tanks, it'll be very hard for Zerg to engage with such a low economy. He does have a high number of bases, but he's still only on not even 30 drones.
Yeah,
there's another drop in the main, take it down more and more. Alright, Dave, without looking, how many drones has Terran killed?
How many drones has Terran killed?
Yes.
I'm going to say in excess of 30.
I would like a very specific number.
I'm going to say 34.
43, very close.
43? Oh, okay. Good stuff. Just pop that up there. Pretty good. A dyslexic answer, but it works. And yeah, that is quite a number. Now resorting to the long distance mining, he may be able to move this command center down and finally unlock some more economy, because right now we are down to 2 mineral patches with only 100 minerals actually left in the Terran main base.
One base.
Exactly. Just one base all day, every day.
How many bases do you get? One.
Yeah.
Why? It's how many I need.
Exactly. And when that one is completely mined out, maybe you take another one.
This is actually like super old school Brood War when Boxer got popular. That's what you did.
Very true. But Acid just doing so much. Oh, big Baneling hit there. And again, if he can just hold off these small armies, then eventually he's going to be able to build back up and win out. But unfortunately, he just keeps barely losing these fights.
Well, look at this. We have the 2 mutas coming in here with their +1, so they will be able to do that extra little bit of damage if the game goes on that far, but I don't foresee it doing so. Like, small group, these 4 Terran units, each with their personal metafacts, they brought their girlfriends to the party. They're taking down the hatchery, so it's functionally down to 2 bases, 2 bases. There does a lot more minerals in its main base, any. But
yeah.
Oh, another double drop in the main in there.
Oh, and Astator realizing that he's been completely broken there and taps out of the game. So yeah, I really do agree with you that he really just had to kind of strangle him out, keep killing the little armies that were coming across, and you didn't actually have to go and attack the Terran. He was on one base. He didn't have to be harassed, didn't have to be annoyed. if he did want to go for the Spire as opposed to Mutas coming out, what would you feel about 1 or 2 Corruptors coming out just to try and hit the Metavacs?
I still think they wouldn't be able to kill them in time, and like, the Spire itself is 8 Banelings and a drone.
That is true, and you're
Like,
much better off with those units.
Yeah, like it would actually be more cost efficient for him to drop Banelings to harass than to get the Spire.
That's incredibly true, I believe.
Yeah,
So,
well, it'd be 500 gas, 500 minerals for the Spire, 2 Mutalisks, and +1.
Yeah.
So you could drop 16 Banelings for the price of these 2 Mutas.
Very true, and that would pretty much, especially since they were all at one point mining off 1 mineral patch, I'd imagine that would be effective. Even if you just got them once again burrowed all around the natural, would have been great. So there we go. Acid taking it. Very unlikely start, and is able to come back. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll slip into another one now.
Thanks.